The roar of an audience is a living force. It swells like a wave, lifts you up, and then crashes over everything else. For decades, Elton John lived inside that sound, surrounded by cheers, lights, and the collective energy of millions. On stage, he was unstoppable. Sequin suits flashing under spotlights, oversized glasses becoming symbols, and a piano that felt less like an instrument and more like an extension of his body. To the world, it was pure joy, spectacle, and brilliance. But when the lights dimmed and the crowd drifted away, silence returned. In that quiet space stood a man shaped by more than applause. At 78, Elton carries a lifetime of triumphs, doubts, reinvention, and reflection. His story is not just about fame, it is about endurance, about learning how to survive success without losing yourself when the noise finally fades. From Pinner to possibility. Long before he became Elton John, he was Reginald Kenneth Dwight, a boy growing up in Pinner, Middlesex. There was nothing glamorous about his beginnings. The house was modest, the environment disciplined, and affection was scarce. Music did not enter his life as a dream of fame. It arrived as necessity. The piano offered comfort where words failed, structure where emotions felt unmanageable. Even as a child, Reginald understood that sound could express what he could not say aloud. Recognition came early, but fulfillment did not. Every small achievement carried an unspoken hope that it might finally earn approval. That hope quietly followed him into adulthood. The journey from Pinner to stardom is often told as destiny, but in truth, it was persistence. Each step forward was built on resilience, not certainty, and on the belief that music could create a place where he finally belonged. Childhood shadows and silent lessons. Reginald's childhood was defined by contrasts. His father valued order, discipline, and restraint, while emotional closeness remained distant. His mother encouraged his musical talent, yet brought unpredictability into the home. Love felt conditional, something earned rather than freely given. In that environment, young Reginald learned to listen more than he spoke. The piano became his refuge, a private space where mistakes were allowed and emotions could exist without judgment. Music gave him control in a world where he often felt powerless. Every melody was a small act of survival. Every chord a step toward understanding himself. These early experiences quietly shaped the man he would become. The longing for connection, the sensitivity beneath the confidence, and the need to be seen all traced back to those formative years. The stage would later magnify him, but the roots of his strength were planted in solitude. A gift that set him apart. By the age of 3, Reginald could reproduce melodies by ear, astonishing those around him. Talent opened doors, but it also deepened his sense of difference. A scholarship to the Royal Academy of Music marked a significant achievement, yet it placed him among peers who seemed effortlessly confident. Surrounded by excellence, he felt the familiar pull of self-doubt. Praise never fully quieted the inner voice questioning his worth. Music remained both companion and challenge, proof of his ability and reminder of his fears. Still, he persisted. He practiced relentlessly, not just to improve, but to justify his place in the room. The piano was no longer just comfort. It became identity. In those years, Reginald learned a critical lesson. Talent alone was not enough. Survival required adaptability, emotional armor, and the courage to keep playing even when confidence wavered. Creating Elton John. The transformation into Elton John was not accidental. It was intentional. The flamboyant persona, bold costumes, and exaggerated confidence were carefully built layers of protection. Reginald had spent years feeling overlooked, and Elton John would never be ignored. The name itself symbolized reinvention, a declaration that he could choose who he became. On stage, he expanded beyond fear. The glasses grew larger, the outfits brighter, the performances more theatrical. This was not hiding. It was reclaiming control. The persona allowed him to command attention on his own terms. Yet beneath the spectacle remained vulnerability. Elton John was powerful, but Reginald Dwight still carried old doubts. The brilliance audiences adored was real. but it was also a shield, allowing him to face the world without exposing the parts of himself that still longed for reassurance. Finding a creative home. The late 1960s offered fertile ground for exploration, and Elton found his place through persistence rather than instant success. Performing in small venues, he learned how to read rooms, adapt energy, and hold attention. Then came Bernie Taupin, a partnership that reshaped everything. Their collaboration felt effortless, almost instinctive. Bernie's words expressed emotions Elton had struggled to articulate, while Elton's melodies gave those feelings voice. Together, they created songs that felt intimate yet universal. Tracks like Your Song were not just popular, they were personal. These songs carried honesty, vulnerability, and warmth, allowing Elton to connect with listeners in ways spectacle alone never could. For the first time, music became shared language rather than performance. That connection grounded him, offering a creative home where expression felt authentic, balanced, and deeply human. Stardom and its weight. The 1970s transformed Elton John into a global phenomenon. Albums soared, tours expanded, and expectations multiplied. Each performance was larger, louder, and more demanding than the last. The world celebrated his success, but the pace left little room for stillness. Behind the scenes, pressure accumulated quietly. Success amplified insecurities rather than silencing them. The applause was thunderous, yet moments of solitude felt heavier. Maintaining the persona required constant energy, and rest became rare. The line between performance and self blurred. Even triumph carried responsibility. The need to deliver, to exceed, to remain extraordinary. Fame brought freedom, but it also demanded endurance. Elton learned that success does not automatically bring peace. It brings visibility, responsibility, and constant motion. Navigating that reality required strength beyond talent, and the cost of maintaining brilliance became part of the journey. The duality of performance. Every costume, every dramatic entrance, every theatrical flourish carried meaning. The flamboyance was joyful, expressive, and intentional, but it was also armor. On stage, Elton controlled the narrative. He decided what the world saw. That control offered safety. Applause affirmed his presence, but it did not erase vulnerability. Instead, it coexisted with it. The contrast between performer and private individual became a defining feature of his life. Audiences celebrated confidence, while he quietly worked to maintain balance. Over time, he learned that strength did not mean constant performance. Growth came from acknowledging complexity, the ability to hold joy and uncertainty together. The persona did not disappear, but it softened. Experience taught him that authenticity could exist alongside spectacle, and that the man behind the piano deserved care as much as the legend before the crowd. Redemption, family, and purpose. Later in life, Elton found grounding beyond the stage. Love, family, and purpose reshaped his priorities. Building a life rooted in stability allowed reflection without regret. He embraced philanthropy and advocacy, using his influence to uplift others. These choices offered meaning beyond achievement. Success became something to share rather than prove. Though the past never vanished, it no longer defined him. Growth did not erase memory, it reframed it. The boy who once sought approval learned to offer compassion to himself. Aging brought perspective, allowing him to see his journey as layered rather than fractured. The drive to perform remained, but it no longer came from insecurity. It came from gratitude, from understanding that resilience is not perfection, but the willingness to evolve, to rest, and to keep creating with intention rather than urgency. The legacy beyond applause. Elton John's legacy is more than record sales or sold-out arenas. It is the story of transformation, of a child who found safety in sound and turned it into connection for millions. His music carries emotion because it was born from experience, not image. Every melody reflects survival, joy, longing, and growth. At 78, His story stands as proof that brilliance and vulnerability can coexist. The applause will always matter, but it is no longer the measure of his worth. What remains is the music, the courage to reinvent, and the humanity beneath the legend. Elton John did not just entertain the world. He showed that art can transform pain into beauty and isolation into shared experience. That is the quiet triumph beneath the roar, and the reason his story continues to resonate long after the final note fades.